Rolling.
Episode 6, one of our earliest episodes, T, when we used to go way back, when we were traveling all across the country, you got harassed by a dog lover in a parking lot, and it led to one of the strangest and most enlightening moments on this podcast. It also helped reveal who we are as Americans. Things are a little weird right now, let's be honest, and it's becoming increasingly intolerant to say anything. We're going to try to power through some of that tonight. Specifically, we want to get into the foray of conspiracies. Tonight begins what we hope will be an entertaining and thoughtful discussion regarding the nature of conspiracy theories, with arguments for and against the varying beliefs, the troubling aspects which confound our thinking, and the unanswered questions we can't let go of. When T and I first met, I learned his birthday was on September 10th. And it stopped me in my tracks. I wanted to know if he could recall where he was on September 10th, 2001. I can't recall where I was on the 10th. I definitely recall my morning on 9/11, as I'm sure many of our listeners do and can relate. More importantly, it's how we learned about that day, which is the subject of our topic tonight, as it relates to conspiracy theories surrounding 9/11. I do want to be clear that we don't relish talking about such a politicized subject. We're reverent for those lost. But it's this incident that has guided our political conscience since. And it's an important conversation to have. And we're going to do it respectfully, but also, as always, in a fun way. Social media is the game, everybody. Show us some love. Get out there on all the platforms. Search hashtag catch the sky, tag catch the sky, hamster ball, trash rocket. You know the deal. Fucking hype us up. Show us some love. T?
Just don't
Thank you
pose
for sitting through
at the fucking memorial site of the World Trade Centers and fucking tag us in it, because that will get you blocked immediately. We don't block people, but that will get you blocked.
We condone censorship.
I just don't condone that type of bullshit. I don't understand why Instagram models think it's all right to go there and pose. I don't understand why mothers are telling their kids to stand next to the squares and smile. What are we smiling about? People jumped out of fucking windows here. Hundreds of firefighters lost their lives here. And regardless of who you think is responsible for these attacks, these people didn't deserve to lose their lives that way.
9/11 means something different to other people. Not everybody feels the same way about 9/11 that you and I do. But I guess it just depends on which version you believe 9/11 is. So I guess, T, I need to ask you, do you think the official version of 9/11 is true?
You mean the official version that it was an inside job, right?
Well, who did it?
It was a team effort. But the U.S. definitely didn't do anything to prevent it. Tell me why NORAD had a 100% interception rate in 2001 until 9/11, when they failed 4 different times.
That would be under the military leadership of anyone serving in the George W. Bush administration, or maybe there's some layovers from the Clinton administration?
Well, they did their job, I think, 67 times prior to that in 2001. And then on September 11th, for whatever reason, they failed to do their job on 4 separate occasions. Or did they? We'll get into that a little more later.
Why don't we just go now?
Flight 93. Where's it at?
They shot it down.
There you go. Thank you. All right. Moving on.
They were
authorized.
They were authorized.
Glad we got that out of the way. All right. So
I read that, and all right, let me cite my source though. Dick Cheyney, his autobiography. I'm reading Ari Fleischer's book when he was taking heat. It's his book as press secretary under George Bush for the first 2 years.
Let's roll.
I
thought that was
authorized to shoot. It was possible George Bush's plane would have gotten shot down.
Let's roll, Saif.
Now what?
Wasn't it a jolly band of brothers that overtook the terrorists and nosedived the plane into the ground?
What do you mean by jolly band of brothers?
Well, that's the way it was portrayed in Flight 93.
Oh, I never watched it.
Well,
should I is the question.
Seems like you might have brought a
Hollywood,
knife.
A liberal Hollywood. A liberal Hollywood. Flight 93. It's a liberal propaganda.
That's my whole point.
That's some patriotic, nationalistic propaganda. That's good old-fashioned G.I. Joe.
That's my whole fucking point. They blew that fucking thing out of the sky with Americans on board.
General Dwight D. Eisenhower from Abilene, Kansas, who represented on the European front. He was a painter. On his way out, the general, Dwight Eisenhower. You like Ike, I like Ike, everybody likes Ike for president. That Dwight Eisenhower warned us. Heed his words, people. The ghosts of Eisenhower passed. I heard Alex Jones was talking about some JFK speech about secret societies. It was on the Joe Rogan show, but it got some notoriety. So that's where we're not Alex Jones, are we? Like, I don't want to be Alex Jones. I want to be better than Alex Jones. I want to be nicer.
What did he warn us about?
The Dwight Eisenhower military-industrial complex.
Oh, yes. So you're speaking of private firms such as the Carlyle Group?
I remember that from the Michael Moore documentary, Fahrenheit 9/11.
Interesting. Yes, yes.
What are they? What is Carlyle? What exactly are they? Aren't they? They're like a financial subsidiary, and they just control multiple assets.
Mm-hmm. A lot of
Basically,
defense projects, yeah. They had investments from the Bin Laden family. Interesting. And do you care to guess the date of their investment conference in 2001?
Please.
I invited you, sir.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I got lost in my head, and I was thinking probably what I was gonna say next, or just trying to hang on for the ride.
Okay. Well, I will enlighten you in the audience. It was September 11th, 2001. Oh, do you care to guess who the guest of honor was?
Was it one of the Bin Ladens?
Yes. Shafiq bin Laden, Osama's older brother, was in Washington, D.C. at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel on September 11th, 2001 as a guest of honor at the Carlyle Group's conference. Ooh, do you want to know who else was at that conference?
Please.
General Ahmed From Pakistan? Do you know how he's relevant to this story?
I'm hanging on here with I'm chomping at the bit, T. You're asking me questions that I don't know the answer to because I don't know where the fuck you stand, man. You could be one of those commies. You're a fucking commie, you know that?
So General Ahmed, for whatever reason, instructed that $100,000 be wired to one Mahmud Ahmed prior
Muhammad.
to September
Muhammad.
11th.
If you're going to say it right.
So why would he be sending money to this terrorist prior to 9/11 and then just happen to be in D.C. with Bush and a bin Laden family member the day of the attacks? Nothing to see here, huh? Fuck me, right?
So the family, right? Just because someone's in your family doesn't mean you agree with everything that goes on in the family. It's actually very
when
well
you're
noted by Peter
wanted
Bergen.
by the CIA, typically they might ask your family a couple of questions if you're not willingly picking up the phone.
And they did. And they still do to this day. And there's a known family split that was detailed by journalism Peter Bergen in his book, The Osama bin Laden I Know. I actually found it at the 99-cent store in Peoria. And I bought a copy. And it was the most enlightening book. It is a go-to resource for the insight into the life of the Osama bin Laden and his family. Absolutely. He split with his family. Dude didn't get along, had issues. Maybe dad, maybe mom issues. I don't know. But he ran some shit out in fucking Kenya and Tanzania. Do you believe that? Because he never actually, they say conspiratorially, he never claimed responsibility for 9/11.
That's another thing.
He's just the guy we're just going to blame it on. Oh, the guy that lives in the place that we want to invade. So
Basically.
we can put more mining companies.
Yep.
So we can put more mining companies
Mm-hmm.
and exploit resources.
You got
now,
it.
This area territorially and strategically
There it is.
was involved. You had a.
This is going to be one of our shortest podcasts ever, Saif.
But no, it's
Game day bucket go
the whole
boom.
thing. So this is it. We're ultimately we're creating reasons to go to war. We're
Yep.
just making up shit. And then here's the part that gets me. I can't take a knee. This is the part that pisses me off. Is because you make it all about the flag. But you're using the military.
Yeah, fuck you. You're not allowed to take a knee.
And that's the part that frustrates me. That's the part that pisses me off, the whole thing. Is the nationalistic shit. But they're using the military to fleece the rest of us. And then when you try to call out the military or the blue line, you say, oh, you can't say that. You talk about fucking censorship. You talk about cancel culture.
Welcome
go
to
to
the
these
Catch the
hockey
Sky
games.
podcast, motherfuckers. We take that
And it's
shit
just
head
out
on.
of control. Sorry.
Well, we're hitting back. No, it is out of control. Fuck them.
You say, what'd you just say? I didn't even hear you.
We're doing it live. I told them that this is the Catch the Sky podcast, and we don't take no shit.
We don't take no shit. Hashtag catch the sky.
Hashtag take no shit.
But here's the weird thing though, T. I remember living during this time and questioning and calling out government. And everybody told me, you protection versus liberty. We go with protection. Then a fucking coronavirus rolls about and Donald Trump's in office. And now it's all about liberty. Get rid of the Patriot Act. Did he get rid of the Patriot Act? Did Donald J. Trump get rid of the Patriot Act? Nah, he didn't do it. The Patriot Act is still in effect. Facebook is listening to this conversation right now. Google is listening to this conversation right now. Microsoft is listening to this conversation right now. Amazon is listening to this conversation. Apple is listening to this conversation right now. And you know what? Probably the government is too. But you know what? I can control the government. I can vote people in who will regulate and oversight. That's what you need. It's called regulations. It's not a dirty word. It's called fucking holding your government accountable. It's about having an accountable system. That's all we're asking for. Whether it's a private corporation, hold them accountable. You hold everybody accountable. You don't use the accountable rhetoric and then don't hold anybody accountable. And that includes the military. That includes law enforcement. There needs to be accountability. That's what this is about. Tired of your rhetoric, your accountability rhetoric. You pull yourself up by your bootstraps rhetoric.
I told you. We got to kick these smug fuckers out. Term limits. That's where it starts. One of many things that we could do, as well as ranked choice voting.
Ranked choice voting is good.
I know.
I do love me some ranked choice voting.
But fuck us. Anywho.
I guess we're not patriots.
Well, some people might say that. These are the same people that are wearing their star-spangled fucking thongs. Just shitting all over the flag code. But, you know.
To be fair.
What the fuck do I know?
I was at a Dennis Kucinich rally when he was running for president in 2004. I was a proud Dennis Kucinich supporter. Representing Cleveland. What up, Dennis? And the biggest issue, we're at the library in downtown Phoenix. Oh, kick me in the nuts for not knowing the name. Burton Bar Library. I should know better. I apologize, Phoenix. I should know better. I'm at the Burton Bar Library and conference, little hall there to the right. And the biggest question for Dennis is to investigate 9/11. It's an inside job. There was the loony left. It was a hodgepodge of, people who smelled like patchouli and just downtrodden people, just people who've gotten kicked in the nuts, and we're just tired of society kicking them in the nuts. And that's when I fell in love with 9/11 conspiracy theories.
Have you watched the one security tape that I've seen from the Pentagon? There's literally one frame where the quote-unquote plane is visible.
Is that the 7-Eleven plane?
Basically.
Yeah, I've seen that clip.
It's interesting that they also ran an operation in October on the 24th through the 26th.
That place has to have cameras.
In 2000. Oh, it does. They won't release them. They have approximately 80 videos. Yeah, no, they won't. Yeah, there's proof that. Exactly.
They're making them right now.
In addition,
would they?
How come none of the telephone poles or anything else?
Why would they leave that hole
in
there?
The flight path was damaged?
If these people are masterminds, how are they just going to leave out a detail like that? What if it was just a bunch of quacky religious zealots with engineering degrees and an understanding of systems, maybe loaded their luggage up with specific things? Like, this was a fucking science experiment. These are the greatest minds. The people of the Middle East built the pyramids. These people deserve engineering respect. My father is a proud engineer. He actually explained to me that knocking down a building with an airplane full of fuel was reasonably acceptable. Like, it is a testament to those towers that they held as long as they did. That's how well built these buildings were built, to prevent something like this from occurring, because those regulations existed. Probably still exist, honestly. There's building codes. We can look at building codes. The towers met all that.
So why did it fall in a free fall? I mean, they physicists, people smarter than you and I, have calculated the rate at which it fell. And these buildings fell with zero resistance. Zero. So that would imply that every single beam inside is simultaneously failing, Saif. Everyone. All of them.
Built the pyramids, bro. We can knock down a fucking building. All
Gotcha.
right?
Okay.
I don't know what to tell you.
Got
like
it.
maybe I got to stand up for my guys right now because people think, oh, they're just some dumb ragheads, right? Fuck you, first of all. Okay. Second of all, we built this civilization. Read your history book that starts at 1492 and tell me you know what the fuck you're talking about.
I'm just
Someone
curious.
got on me for cursing. They got us on cursing. And for the people who don't like cursing, I'm sorry. It just sometimes it slips out. Like, I'm a G. Like, you have to understand something. I'm a G. And I'm from Phoenix. This is who we are.
You can take the man out
We
of the
don't
hood.
trust government. I don't trust government. There are people in Tuskegee right now not wanting vaccines. You know why? Because of what they did to the Tuskegee Airmen. It's horrible. When you start to unfold this history, it's really bothersome and it demands accountability. That's all. Government works fine. You just need to be accountable. That's it.
So how about Cuzzy didn't know about World Trade Center 7 until tonight?
Oh, you put him onto some stuff?
We were just watching a couple things. He didn't even know that building fell until tonight.
He didn't know both fell?
No, I'm talking about World Trade Center 7, the third building that fell in New York.
There's only 2 buildings, T.
That pause was way too long because it immediately told me that you are fucking out of your element, dude. 3 buildings fell in New York on September 11th, Saif.
There was fallout from the other buildings.
No, the South Tower fell at 9:59 a.m. The North Tower fell at 10:28 a.m. World Trade Center 7 fell at like 5:20 in the afternoon. So, no. Doesn't add up, Saif. It also fell in a free fall out of nowhere. So, did you not know that a third building collapsed on 9/11?
And this building burned because this thing fell because of fire caused by the other massive explosion that just occurred right before.
Oh, that's the narrative we're going with. Okay. Do you care to explain the river of molten metal that continued to burn under these structures for weeks afterwards?
T, you weren't there. Number one, you were not there, sir.
I'm going off the words of people that were there. So do we just not trust anybody anymore?
Whose words
are you
sharing?
I'm reading a document that is on the National Institute of Standards and Technology.
I'm on that very same website.
Oh, okay.
And it's a .gov.pao?
This is .gov.
Okay, but what about the rest of the website? Can you go anywhere else? Is this a real website, T?
Yeah.
Is this a real government website? Gettysburg, Maryland? Gaithersburg? The U.S. Department of Commerce? Who the fuck is the U.S. Department of Commerce?
Yeah, the U.S. Department of Commerce. They ain't shit.
Why would they be sponsoring this?
Why does any fucking department of government sponsor any of this shit they do, Saif? None of this makes any fucking sense. The bottom line is that these motherfuckers know that there were thermitic reactions in World Trade Center 7.
Where do you even see that in this document?
God damn you, man.
Okay. What am I trying to understand? There were 2 planes. They hit 2 towers. Everything below of that got demolished. I'm sorry, T. Why
Not
doesn't that make sense to
everything
you?
below of it got demolished. This building, for no reason, collapsed fucking 7 hours later.
According to this website you just pointed me to, it said there was a fire that caused it.
Oh, well then
Why is it hard to believe that fire is damaging?
how come none of these other buildings fell down? And this building was built
What other buildings? Can you name me other buildings that
in
fell down?
the surrounding area.
Like, it almost took out this church, this National Historic Site.
Oh, but
They were able to save it.
Oh, so they were able to save the church, but this 47-story building.
George Washington went to this fucking church, dude.
Gotcha. But the 47-story building that was built more recently and didn't have jet fuel injected inside of it somehow just collapsed to the ground. 7 hours later.
Burn when fire hits them.
Okay.
I don't understand.
But
You're like
this
pretending
fire-
like this building was on Long Island or something. It was right next to it, was it not?
This fire would not get
Was
hot
there not
enough.
2 buildings that just collapsed?
This fire would not get hot enough to burn steel
How do you know? How do they know? Like, what the?
because they know how hot fire can get. So unless you add
Those
a chemical,
buildings collapsed.
unless you add a chemical to the fire that's burning inside of this building, such as jet fuel, as you're proposing, that brought down the north and south
So you're saying
towers.
not enough jet fuel wasn't able to come down and rain on this building specifically. That this building, because they're saying it was fire caused, couldn't be caused by debris or just be destroyed.
So why wasn't it destroyed on impact?
I mean, from what I understand, it was a fucking oven down there.
Yeah.
The heat, it was sweltering, like stuff burns. That's the narrative. Yeah, I buy it.
So the jet fuel just continued to burn for months afterwards?
It's such a loose. All right, fine. I accept the full narrative that it was an inside job. Who did it? Or I accept the job that it was a conspiracy. Now it gets the part. Who? Go up the ladder then. And that's where it gets to fucking crackpot town. Unless you buy our narrative, military-industrial complex.
Yeah. But that could involve some people in government. It could involve the Bushes. It could involve people from other governments.
We're saying they fucked up the ground game.
Yeah, they fucked up everything on the ground. Shanksville was a fucking mess. There's molten metal all over the ground. Literally, their ground game was just awful. There was no debris at the Pentagon. Explain that, Saif.
The Pentagon is the worst.
Yeah.
The Pentagon is the worst.
Exactly.
That's just disrespectful.
So if that's
But the
disrespectful,
Pentagon makes... Why wouldn't they have video of the Pentagon?
that's precise. They
Why would
have
they
it.
just be
They have
blatant?
it. They have it. They just won't give it to people.
Are they'll just whip out their cock and just slap us is what they'll do. They don't care. They'll piss on us.
So why is it
These
so
people
hard to
know no limit.
believe that they conspired with people in foreign governments to make it look as though these planes were hijacked? And I mean, they probably were hijacked. You know what I'm saying? These people just were paid to do this.
Why hasn't this gotten out?
It has gotten out. These aren't new ideas.
Have people been prosecuted? Do we have names? We just suspect the Bush family and the Clinton family. That's it? Is this where it ends?
The
That it just
$100,000
in a
that General Ahmad wired to Mahmud
just Freedom of
Ahmed,
Information Act. Like, we can't get any documents because of the Freedom of Information Act, or what?
their response was that amount of money just wasn't relevant to this investigation. That was literally just the response, Saif, from the government. So that's basically where we're at.
Okay.
How are we going to get any prosecutions off of that when they just say, meh, this guy from Iran that serves in their intelligence agency wired some money to the head hijacker on 9/11, but no cause for concern here. He's walking around D.C. on that date. You want to talk about getting cock slapped? I mean, that's
Saudis.
fucking bukkake right there.
Like they wanted to strain the relationship with Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's like, all right, well then who we blaming for this? There was always this
just the whole Middle East. Involved? They just want to fuck everybody. There's implications that the Bush family is involved. I'm not going to go ahead and say it is
but
them.
He's their golden boy. He's their golden boy.
Who is?
Bush. Oh, they fucking defended him. Maybe one good thing George Bush ever did. Go ahead and put those on the comments page of any. If you can name some things George Bush did good, I'd be happy to hear about them.
He killed Saddam Hussein. He killed Saddam Hussein, right?
I don't know. Saddam had a mustache. I don't know. He was just like a classic dictator. Now you just have
Kim Jong-un.
You just don't have any good dictators anymore. Like
I know.
I mean,
what happened to the 90s dictators? Where have all the 90s dictators gone?
I know.
We got these lame asses like fucking wannabe dictators like Trump.
Wearing suits and overgrown ties and fake hair and just fake ripping off people since the day he was born. Privileged.
Probably couldn't even grow a mustache.
He actually used 9/11 as he definitely used that hostility because they kept showing that clip of the Palestinian people celebrating, and that did not help Palestine. That's why it's like, all right, this is some Israeli propaganda, right? They're trying to blame it on the Saudis and the Palestinians and up the ante over there. And honestly, all we did was contribute more efforts to overthrow governments in the Middle East. In fact, T and I are recording this on February 25th. Joe Biden, ladies and gentlemen, has taken his first military action. And he has done it in, well, there's some corrections going on because the first initial report in journalism is never correct. You always got to go back and check the record, people. Go check the fucking record. Freedom of Information Acts are also respected and expected. Go hold your government accountable. Go take out a FOIA. You think holding government is easy? You think it's easy to hold government accountable? You just go to meetings and you scream at them? No, you have to go read what's on the agenda. Decipher that. Learn Robert's Rules of Orders. Believe me, they made it so difficult that only lawyers could do it. Either way. What the fuck were we talking about?
And that's why we'll never know the truth.
Go take out a FOIA. FOIAs are hard. Like they fucking trash the whistleblower. They kick him in the nuts. And they always like, you just can't hold government accountable. All right. So speaking of Tower 7, honestly, to me, that's just irrelevant. Like, I just don't care about any of that.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
that to me didn't bother me.
Yeah, we'll just completely throw that out the window. Got it. Okay.
It just seemed acid. It doesn't make any sense. But it also, no cameras at the Pentagon doesn't make any sense.
Right.
So
there's a lot of things that don't make sense.
You have engineers on both sides saying it happened, one way or the other. You know, their version. You also have a history of trying to blow this building up. Khalid Sheikh Mohammed.
Mm-hmm. You know that he was working with the FBI, right?
It was 93, man. The FBI, actually, ironically, reading a newspaper headline, did not read the article. FBI is part of the problem. But again, no accountability. No accountability whatsoever. None. No oversight. James Comey gets in front of Congress.
Fucking point.
And just says, you know what? We're investigating emails.
This is my whole fucking point, bro.
This whole thing doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Exactly. Exactly. Things aren't adding up.
So then, all right. So then we accept the narrative that there's this establishment of cronies, people who have been just put in front of government to protect it, Republicans and Democrats alike.
Basically.
And they have a way to get to you, right? They'll like get to the Kennedys by killing members of their family or something, right?
Yeah.
Or they'll
and their
threaten
bloodline.
judges. The Kennedys. Fuck. See, then it gets to JFK and it's like, damn it.
Oh, we'll get to a JFK episode. Don't you worry, buddy.
I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, T. Those people are scary. They have like long hair. All right. They don't cut their fingernails. They're uncouth. They have bad teeth. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, but you know what they do? They listen to our podcast. so there's that element.
Oh, gosh. You're going to be so pissed about the sound, by the way, because I've moved around quite a bit.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love it. Thanks for making my job easy tonight.
T edits, by the way, everybody.
I edit. I do
elves.
The majority of our social media.
We need interns. Hey, if you want to join the Catch the Sky Nation Army, join us. We can offer college credit. And intern. I don't know what. We need T-shirts. We need cards.
We need stickers.
I've reached out to a couple people. Nobody's like, I don't.
Yeah, if you care to interact with us, you may do so at CTS Cherry or at CTS Saif, SAIF, on Twitter, or by searching for the Catch the Sky podcast on Instagram, Facebook, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure to like or subscribe and share that shit. I know you got some conspiracy theorist friends out there that are into this.
Yeah, I got a couple. Hey, for those of you who are my homies and you guys listen to me, thank you. And this is an archive of our vocal record. This will go in our history books. So if you want to participate in our history project, like this is how historians, like people who write letters of the past, you know, their story should be told too. It shouldn't just be the high profile people. The common person needs to have their voice shared as well. You listening to this, you're like us. You're part of the common good.
So to all my homies in the Philippines, this one's
what up,
for
Sparkle? You. We got listeners in Canada now. We got Canada.
Oh, thank God. They're only less than 100 miles north of me.
I'm 100 miles north of Mexico. How ironic. We're both close to borders. So box cutters used to be very easy to get on an airplane before 9/11. Like actually the borders as a whole, very porous. If there was also a great effort made to militarize the border after 9/11, particularly the Mexico border. And I believe that plays into this 9/11 narrative as well. John Kyle, Arizona senator, was a huge advocate for the construction of a wall. And so it feels like the people who...
Now I need a passport to go to Niagara Falls safe. Do you realize how much that fucks me up?
And they charge you coin money. They make you put coins in a machine to get out of Canada and Niagara Falls.
That's really nice. That's fantastic. I love it. I really do.
Have you ever been to Mexico, T?
No.
Oh, we got to go.
Well,
hey, let's get T to Mexico, everybody. Let's get him there his first time. He can try some tequila, eat some street tacos.
Sweet tea goes to Mexico. I like it.
Street tacos, bro. Street tacos.
Do they serve pink tacos?
It's
on the streets.
It used to be like in high school, man. I mean, it was just a free for all. It's nonsense. You could drink at 16. One of the first times I got hammered was in Mexico, Puerto Vallarta, Rocky Point, just stumbling around. Just fell right on my face drinking 2 pina coladas and a strawberry daiquiri because that's how we did it.
Getting caught in the rain.
Yeah. And a little hot tub action. With Joy Sardella? Oh, shit. Joy and Marcy Sardella. Oh, my God. Unbelievable. Boy. To the Sardella sisters. God bless you.
Jesus.
The earth. This was before like Kim Kardashian was like a thing, right? Like just
fuck her.
By the way, she's there. Yeah. She's on the market. Kim, if you ever want to come on live interview.
I'd be more interested in getting Courtney on because that would land me one step closer to my man, Travis Barker.
That's why I have to play it that way, people. It wasn't easy to say goodbye to Kanye, even though he is by far the brains of that operation. But again, part of the corruptness. The Kardashian is the OJ lawyer, right? And then that person now has an advantage to get into Hollywood. Privilege 101, people. Take notes. I'm wondering what Ivanka Trump has got rolled up. I think Ivanka will release the 9/11 records. That is probably the route. That's the campaign promise. There, right there. I can see that one coming. But Don didn't even get JFK. Like the JFK files still got vaulted up. DT, Donald Trump, you had one job because Ted Cruz was responsible for JFK's death. And we never got to know the true answer because you failed us, sir. I just want to remind some of my conspiratorial listeners out there. Had he done that, maybe I would have been more on camp, like maybe I would have stormed the Capitol too. Maybe I'd be more inclined to listen to conspiracies.
Well,
I guess I'm not against the idea of conspiracies, T. It's hard to decipher which ones I choose to believe.
You spent 42 minutes on this one.
You got anything left in the tank?
What else is there to say about this? We could go on forever making every little point there is, but I think we've made it pretty clear.
Secrets are hard to keep.
Secrets are no fun. Secrets hurt someone.
That was season 3.
If any of our listeners care to jump in on this topic, please feel free to do so. Again, you may find us on Facebook or Instagram by searching for the Catch the Sky podcast, or you may hit us up on Twitter at CTS Terry or at CTS Saif. We'd love to hear what you have to say on this one.
We love America more than you do. What are you doing? How are you helping to affect positive change in your community?
America. Fuck yeah.
Dika. Dude, I have a hockey story. There was a dude, his name is Matt Holtzen or something. Hold on, let me get his name right. And he works as a freelance photographer.
Okay.
At USA Today.
Right.
Wire services, specifically.
Sweet.
It's Matt Cartosian. And he has a website, Dika, that's in his copyright as of 2007. And he gets to just go about being a rude person to a veteran who couldn't take his backpack in.
Jesus Christ.
Come on, Matt. Be a better person. Just be nicer. Be nice, people. Do something nice for another person today. Okay? Make the world a better place. Don't be a dick. We love y'all out there. Catch the Sky universe.